My friends, we gather at a peculiar moment in human history, a time when our outside world is filled with brilliant machines, yet our inner world is falling into complete darkness. We have conquered the oceans, split the atom, and reached for the stars, yet we remain terrifyingly ignorant of the vast, untamed wilderness that lies within our own minds. We look out at the universe with powerful telescopes, but we refuse to look into the mirror. This is the great tragedy of modern humanity. We have traded our souls for gadgets, and in doing so, we have forgotten how to speak the language of our own spirits. In my decades of studying the human mind, I've come to realize that the conscious mind, the part of you that thinks, plans, and navigates daily life, is merely a tiny island floating on a vast, shoreless ocean. That ocean is the unconscious. It is not a stagnant pool of forgotten memories or repressed desires, as some have claimed. Instead, it is the living fountain of our very existence. It is the source from which all human art, religion, myth, and creativity have ever flowed. Yet, the modern world treats this ocean as if it does not exist. We pride ourselves on our rationality. We believe that we are the masters of our own houses, that we control our actions, and that logic is our supreme ruler. But this is a dangerous illusion. When we deny the unconscious, it does not simply vanish. Instead, it operates in the dark. It influences our choices, drives our anxieties, and manifests as the very fate we claim to suffer. As I have often noted, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. How does this hidden world speak to us? It does not use the cold, literal vocabulary of science or logic. It speaks in the ancient tongue of symbols and myths. It communicates through our dreams. Every night, while your conscious ego sleeps, your deeper self goes to work, weaving intricate stories, landscapes, and characters. These dreams are not random biological noise. They are letters sent from the depths of your psyche, attempting to correct the imbalances of your waking life. If you are too proud, a dream may bring you low. If you are paralyzed by fear, a dream may demand that you find your courage. Our ancestors understood this naturally. They lived in a world where symbols were alive. To them, a river was not just flowing water, it was a living spirit. A tree was not just lumber, it was a symbol of cosmic growth. They possessed a deep, instinctual connection to the world, rooted in what I call the collective unconscious, a structural layer of the human psyche containing the shared inheritance of all mankind. Within this collective layer rest the archetypes. These are the ancient patterns, characters, and motifs that appear in the folklore, mythologies, and religions of every civilization across time, without them ever having met. We see the archetype of the hero, who journeys into the underworld to fight the dragon. We see the wise old man, the trickster, and the great mother. These are not fictional characters invented for entertainment. They are the living blueprints of human experience. They represent the various forces and transitions that every single one of us must confront on our journey through life. But what has the modern world done with these living symbols? We have stripped them of their power. We have rationalized them away. We look at ancient rituals and call them primitive superstitions. We look at religious symbols and treat them as intellectual concepts. In doing so, we have committed a profound act of psychological self-harm. We have built a world that is clean, orderly, and efficient, but utterly devoid of meaning. By decoupling ourselves from our symbols, we have disconnected from our instincts. The modern individual is split in two. On one side is our conscious ego, which strives to be civilized, polite, and rational. On the other side is our rejected, instinctual nature, which we have pushed down into the darkness. This rejected side does not disappear. It forms what I call the shadow. The shadow contains all the parts of ourselves that we deem unacceptable, our anger, our jealousy, our primal drives, but it also holds our unfulfilled potential, our hidden creativity, and our raw vitality. When we pretend the shadow does not exist, it grows stronger. It projects itself onto the world around us. We begin to see our own hidden flaws in our neighbors, in rival political parties, and in foreign nations. We blame others for the darkness we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. This is how mass hysteria is born. When individuals lose touch with their inner lives, they become vulnerable to psychological epidemics. A society made of individuals who are disconnected from their own souls is a society ripe for destruction. The political and social upheavals we witness are not merely economic or material struggles. They are symptoms of a mass psychological sickness. They are the explosions that occur when a culture tries to live entirely in its head or starving its heart. The only way out of this crisis is the path of individuation. This is the lifelong journey of psychological growth, a process where an individual integrates the conscious mind with the unconscious contents of the psyche. To individuate means to become whole. It means having the courage to face your shadow, to look honestly at your flaws, and to welcome back the neglected parts of your being. It means listening to your dreams, honoring your personal symbols, and recognizing that the ultimate purpose of life is not to conform to society's expectations, but to become the unique individual you were truly meant to be. We cannot return to the past, nor should we wish to. We cannot undo the scientific progress that has given us so much, but we must realize that external progress is meaningless without internal development. We must bridge the gap between our brilliant conscious intellect and our ancient instinctual soul. Look inside yourselves. Pay attention to the quiet images that drift through your mind when the world falls silent. Do not dismiss your dreams as nonsense. Do not mock the symbols that stir your heart. They are the threads guiding you back to the center of your labyrinth. Humanity stands at a crossroads. We can continue down the path of blind materialism, treating ourselves as nothing more than biological machines until our repressed instincts destroy us from within. Or we can choose the path of self-awareness. We can dare to explore the mysterious kingdom within us, reclaiming our symbols, our myths, and our wholeness. The salvation of the world does not lie in political systems, economic theories, or technological advancements. It lies in the heart and mind of the individual. Remember who you are. Look inward. Embrace your symbols and begin the sacred task of healing the split within your soul.